Hey guys, I am back. Thank God, I was so ill.
Yeah, you're straight up dying.
So I come back today and James like, you know what will make you feel even better? Reading some Reddit cringe. Guys, I'm gonna be sick again.
No!
No!
Honestly, this one's not as bad as some of the other Reddit cringe ones we've done. It's more just mental gymnastics and crazy people.
But isn't Reddit in general just mental gymnastics?
Yeah, so I don't think this one actually needs as much of a warning than the other ones because it's just crazy people. So let's get into this and you let us know what you think.
My bull stole my husband and I don't know how to deal with this. Why did you run away from me, James?
Because he got that D. And he's very and he treats me nice and he's very soft. Actually, you know what? Let's just get into this one and we'll find out what the situation is.
I made a throwaway for this. We started in this lifestyle about 6 months ago. I found a bull who I really liked, and we got along really well. Soon my husband joined in by watching, and then he helped us a bit and got more involved. After some time I started telling him to blow the bull to make him ready for me, and he didn't object at all. I was surprised by this, but didn't object. It led to me watching him blow the bull, and the bull coming on his face or mouth. I wanted to take it further, so I asked the bull to F my husband, and we had to practice for that, as my bull is on the bigger side. So I started ducking my husband with a strap on, and we slowly progressed to the bull. It led to me watching the bull duck him. I sent them on errands together to humiliate him, but they became friends afterwards and I didn't mind.
What do they mean? What, you had to go shopping or something?
Know.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Yesterday my husband told me that he wants a divorce. This literally came out of nowhere. I checked his phone but found nothing and was lost as to why. I went to the bull's house and told him to talk to him, but he seemed reluctant to do that. He told me that my husband is dating him. I thought that this was a joke set up by them. It wasn't. He's serious about this. And now that both of them are dating. This is the side of cuckolding nobody told me about. I don't know what to say or how to feel. I can't even talk to anybody about this. I feel so embarrassed.
All I'm going to say is booze before hoes. It's kind of
Nose before hose.
Yeah.
Literally.
I mean,
like, what is this?
I mean, like, look, you get yourself into, like, look, see if you're one of those people that are actually into this sort of thing. You know, you kind of have to, like, are you that shocked when it goes wrong?
Exactly.
Like, you know, can you really be shocked?
Or, depending on who you're talking to, it's went really well.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it worked out better than...
Who knows?
Oh my god. I want to know what these errands are, though. What do you mean? You went out shopping? You went and...
I sent them on errands together to humiliate him.
You know how bad this is? We've done like many of these sorts of stories that I'm more interested in. Like, wait, they go out shopping now?
I know.
It's got nothing. It's like, I got him to suck him off and he jacked all over his face and you know, it's like that's
Wait,
not...
they went to the post office?
Yeah, well...
Wife, 26 female, wants to use a sperm donor because she wants attractive kids.
Like, why are you going... Imagine you're that much of a stinker. It's like, you know what, I do love you and all, we did get married, but...
I don't want your genes in my kids.
I mean, like, your genetics are kind of dead-end material,
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. I,
30 male, have been to my wits' end with this discussion and I don't feel comfortable talking to my family or friends about this due to the sensitive and embarrassing nature of the conversation. When talking about children, we want to start soon. She suggests a sperm donor because then the child will supposedly have a better chance of a good life. I was incredibly confused and asked her to explain, to which she explained that if the baby had genes of an incredibly attractive and smart man, tried not to be insulted at that, then he or she would live an easier life and be happier. She's not wrong in that more attractive people live easy lives, but it's just so hurtful to think that your wife doesn't think you're good enough to have children with. Oh.
I mean, that's brutal. That's pretty brutal. Look, let's keep going.
Before we got married, been married for 3 years, we mentioned our mutual interest in having kids, but this never came up. If I'm being objective, my wife is incredibly smart, but not jaw-droppingly beautiful. And though she has a healthy, fit body, her face is not perfect. She is imperfectly perfect to me, but she's only a solid 6 or 7. I think her own insecurity might play a role since she struggled with not being a beautiful woman in her younger days, and said how life is easier to be good looking. I'm around the same level of attractiveness. I'm 6 foot and kinda on the thinner side, but my face is average, I'd say. Never had anyone be repulsed. as her and she is attracted to me, but she says she just wants our kid to have the best shot at life and lead the best life it can. I don't know what to do. It's gotten to the point where now I'm starting to consider it, but it would make me feel as though she married me just for the money I can provide in raising this other handsome man's child. I don't know what to do or how to reach her in that this is not okay. Divorce is not on the cards. I just want to fix the problem.
Well, that's your problem. There you go. Divorce is not on the cards. Frankly, I think, you should also get a surrogate while you're on top of this. I mean, if they're both not the greatest, why not just...
Why does she think her genes would help then?
Yeah, unless this guy's proper hideous. And let's be serious, she probably did marry him just for money. Like, that's what it sounds like to me. That I don't see
But
any...
how heartbreaking would this be, being with your wife? Imagine, James. Imagine me and you. Like, we both came to the agreement, like, right, I think we're ready to have kids. Yeah, we both came to that agreement, and then I was like, but I'm gonna go for a sperm donor, because this...
this just
isn't working.
I mean, I don't want a spurgy child, like, you know? I don't want a fat man with a neckbeard of a child.
Ozzy's stunning, though. I don't know how we struck gold with him.
I've honestly no idea. It's like, I always expected to love my child, you know, so much, but I never expect him to be so handsome. Yeah, like it's mind-boggling.
Like, so handsome.
And like, you know, people say it's like, oh my God.
I go out, like, if I have him in the pram and I'm go out for a walk with him, people stop me. At least 4 times out my walk to tell me how good looking my child is. Like, he's just so handsome, and I'm like, I know.
Yeah, but again, he's got that personality. He's very smiley, and he's very easy with people. But look, enough of that. We've got cringe to get into, so let's keep going.
I feel like leftists as a collective could bear to get better at fighting. This is a pretty bad idea. Upper body strength in men is positively correlated with right-wing political views. And do you really want the left represented by people who share the fascist aesthetic? The concept of physical health, beauty, and body strength is oppressive anyway. It implies some people are physically superior and others inferior based on arbitrary standards and social constructs. We are valuable and equal as human beings.
That's appalling.
What the fuck? So having any form of muscle, you're a fascist?
Yeah, Megan, you know, the thing is, going to the gym, looking after yourself, any form of responsibility.
Fascist behaviour.
Exactly.
Drinking water. Fascist behaviour.
You know what? See if you try and put in filter your water. Mm-hmm. That's incredibly fascist, by the way. And also, it's discriminatory to people of colour, just so you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you don't want to be a bigot, of course.
We can no longer allow any content that shows people of colour as the aggressor. Due to new Reddit updates to its policies and rules, as well as administrator conversations with its users, we can no longer allow any posts, comments or other content that shows people of colour as the aggressor. This is considered hate speech and/or harassment towards an important minority group and is no longer allowed. This absolutely means any videos, as well as news reports, photos, personal stories, data or statistics, police reports or any other form of media.
I don't know about you guys. Have you read 1984?
Like, what is that?
No, but this is what it's turned into. Like, you know, this is unironically what it is, though. Like, you know, it's... See, I don't even know what I can say because YouTube.
I know.
You know, there's not much I can really talk about the subject because it's not something that...
What they're basically doing is what they're trying to prevent. They're whitewashing the media because they're taking all the colour out.
Yes. Well, you could argue that this is actually extremely racist.
But it is, in
well,
a sense.
You know what gets me? It's... The way I view it is what's considered hyper-progressive today will be considered racist in a few years' time if it keeps going the way it's going. And it's the way that they're so able to just change the narrative, and you have to...
And how they're just outright bigot.
Unironically, yes. I mean, with like, how many of these videos have we done, and how many times in these like cuckold stories that we do is at least a key element within them. I don't know about you guys, but let's just keep going.
Reading Stormy Daniels' new book, Full Disclosure, to her cat son, Harry Potter. #don't be a snowflake.
I know, look, you no need to be a snowflake, no need to be a bigot.
At least they're progressive parents.
Exactly, very progressive, and like, you know, I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, just look at this fella though, look at him.
Oh my god, he's actually wearing a t-shirt saying don't be a snowflake.
Oh my god.
My 33 male, wife 32 female, is set on adopting an African American child and stopped being intimate with me until I agree. This has been going on for over a month now.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
I can see where this is going.
Right, where's the logic behind this? Let's see.
My wife and I have been married for 5 years. We've got 2 children, our older son who is 4 and another son who's 2 years old. So a quick summary. We used to live in New York City together and then moved to DC as it was lower cost of living.
DC lower cost. Right, okay.
And now we have a house near the DC area. I work in engineering and my wife used to work in consulting but now works at a non-profit. We have a good marriage for the most part. I feel that my wife is generally the more passionate one, and I'm the more toned down engineer. This worked well for us and we can eventually reach a conclusion, but this fight now has been festering and really ruining our relationship. My wife has brought up in the past about adopting a kid from Africa, but that was something we talked about doing when our children had fully grown, maybe like in early 50s, and I entertained the idea, but I always said it would be something we would get back to. Now with the whole climate, she's been dead set on doing this. Also, she doesn't want an African kid anymore, but an African American. Not super relevant, but just pointing it out. She's already donated a lot of money, relative to her income, to different causes. She's brought up adopting more and more, and I told her that I'm not comfortable doing that. That we have funds and we should help one black child, as we already have 2 white children, which in her eyes was selfish enough to have. She believes that since we are in a position of privilege, we should do what we can to help those kids that won't have a fair shot in life. She said that the only way we can ensure our children aren't going to have racist biases is that they have a family member that is also black, and that it will help us be more aware of our own biases. For me, I'm okay with activism, and I've done my part, but this is too much for me. I want my kids to be biologically mine, except since we are both healthy enough to do it. And I don't think adoption should be used as a political or social cause, and only if you're both 100% set on doing it.
I mean, like, I think this guy's being extremely selfish.
And
that he has all this money from his engineering job, and he isn't willing to, you know, put his own family first in this situation. I think it's I feel bad for his children, frankly, to have a father that would rather put them first. You know, think of all of these virtue points that the mother will receive
in her job,
and just across the board. Like, think of the
imagine walking down the street with this child and people looking, is this your child? Yes, why are they not my child?
But, you know,
what are you trying to say, you racist?
Think of it like this, like, you know, this could be like a designer bag times 10.
Yeah,
that's essentially what I see. I see this as a designer bag times 10, or, like, you know, something in that ballpark of, look at me, aren't I just God's gift to the world?
I've tried to talk to my wife, but it seems that she's gotten more and more strict in this. She called me a racist.
As he probably is, let's be serious.
I said I don't want to adopt a white baby either, I just want to have my own kids. And honestly, it just has deteriorated at this point. We no longer sleep in the same bed anymore. She told me she's disgusted with me and thought she married better. She told me that she won't sleep with me anymore until I agree with adopting a baby that she can't share her body with a racist. For me, this is something I have to be firm on. Had it been the case that we had fertility issues or we were much older, it would be a different story. But this is too much for me. We only get one chance to live a life and I want my kids to be my own. We already agreed a while back that 2 kids was enough. I wasn't even asking to have more children. I was open to it after I got promoted to a more managerial role, but I was okay with 2 children. My wife was the one that really wanted to have a daughter. I feel that right now the situation is only getting worse and worse. My wife has really self-isolated with only people that hold more extreme views than her. She has already cut off some of her friends because she was disgusted by their belief. She barely even talks to her mum. For me, at this point, I talk to her mum and sister more than her. I don't know what to do. This situation has been going on now for the past month. When it comes to no sex, I honestly don't mind that much. I was a virgin till I was 23, lol. I can handle this. I just don't know what to do about our marriage. I don't see how us staying at odds with each other can ever get us back to a better spot. What do you guys suggest I do here? Should I get her parents involved? Is there an achievable middle ground here? TLDR. My wife wants to adopt for our next child. I do not want to. I'm okay with donating money, but I don't feel comfortable with adopting a kid for a political reason. My wife said she's disgusted by me.
What do you say about that, honestly? Like, what do you actually say? There's not much. That's a really sad situation.
It's a really sad situation.
I honestly don't really have many words, and like honestly, see, like, you know what this is to me? I really don't like. I don't like it when people get dogs for the sake of it. If you're going through a midlife crisis, get a tattoo like a normal human being, right?
Or buy a sports car for
yeah, like, you know, do something like that. Don't get pets. And this is what I see. I see this as they're not treating this. Even if they were to get it.
This isn't. The wife doesn't see this as a child's life.
No, I don't think she does.
That you're talking about here. You know, you could be taking them away from a family who really wants them.
Yeah, but Megan, think of the karma points.
Yes, you want them because you're going to get karma points.
Essentially, yes.
Basically.
And I just don't think even the child that they would get, if they do, is not going to benefit from this situation.
No.
At all. It's actually just really fucking sad.
Right, you slimy human maggots. We has been working hard at Neckbeardia to get the bestest little people that monies can buy. We got all the boys here. We got the boys, the lizard boys, vampire boys, all the boys over at Neckbeardia. Oh, we also got some pretty girls too. But I can't really make out which one's the boys and which one's the girls sometimes. But anyway, I need more monies to get more DACA, so get on over and order some now, you filthy pigs.
Every video that we post, we're going to be giving away all of our homebrew content to one lucky winner. Every video. All you have to do to be in with a chance to win is to be subscribed, leave a comment, and like this video. And today's lucky winner is this guy. Well done! Well done! To claim your prize, just send an email to neckbeardiacontact@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the video. When I attempt to make sense of the day's geopolitics, Russia equals Slytherin, China equals Ravenclaw, EU equals Hufflepuff, and USA is Gryffindor!
I honestly can't argue with the EU being Hufflepuff.
Yes, to be honest.
You know, yeah, it's getting cringe, but okay, you got a point there, okay?
Imagine Keanu Reeves was a general and Reddit was a country. Now imagine Instagram killing him. Soleimani was loved by his people. Americans can't name a general that easy.
Oh, that's about your man. Remember whenever January 2020? Do you remember that one? It was it was Iranian general, so it was.
Oh yeah, I think it's Soleimani. I said Soleimani.
Salami.
Salami.
Like, you guys know us. We're not here for pronunciation and all that.
For a truly immersive film experience, watch Avengers: Infinity War, and then after the snap, go out for a drive around town. It really adds to the film in a way not imagined by the producers of the film.
So deep. Gets me every time.
Let me explain it for the gamers.
The gamers out there, am I right, guys?
This is a mythic boss encounter. Don't take unnecessary damage, so the healers, our doctors and nurses, can preserve mana for the unavoidable damage spike. If you mess up a mechanic, the entire raid will wipe. Stay home and pause. Be safe.
That's a real gamer talk right there. There's nothing worse than, I loved my favourite one. My favourite one that I ever saw was, think of it like this, right? Think of it like this. So Russian tanks are Dementors, right? M-Laws and Javelins are like Expecto Patronus. You know the worst, because I loved Harry Potter as a child. Like, I was the perfect age for Harry Potter.
There's nothing more that makes me physically dry heave than a Harry Potter adult.
I loved Harry Potter though. I really enjoyed it, but then see, whenever I got a bit older and then like saw what it was like online, I was like, it's kind of killed it for me.
Yeah, we see them 35-year-old women walking about with a Harry Potter like bag.
Your sister then?
Well, I tell her all the time. We were actually out shopping and she had her Harry Potter bag with her. And I said, you need to buy like a grown-ass woman's handbag. And she was like, no, I don't. And I was like, yes, you fucking do. And took her and she bought one. She hasn't used her Harry Potter one since. So I'm slowly trying to change her.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for leaving my husband in the grocery store because he started acting like a toddler? We all go through phases and pick up annoying habits, and sometimes we just need our loved ones to gently tell us if we've picked up a particularly egregious habit. Sometime in the last year, my husband has picked up a habit where he talks like a baby.
Friend? I got friends.
At first, it was funny, but passed into embarrassing, cringeworthy behaviour quickly. Examples: doggo, popper, woofer, or subwoofer. Pibble, hoodie boy, peebo, burb, meow meow, Sammy, sandwiches, Sammy whammy, chicky nuggies, chicky tendies. Adding a toddler-esque lisp to words, and the ones that really get gross are the childish euphemisms for genitalia or sex.
Why, what are they? What are them ones?
I cannot emphasise this enough. This is not endearing or sexy to have my husband talk about my boobies and his, and his wiener and weenie and wee wee. Who has and Bajangos, nostalgia for scrubs be damned. We have not had sex for 6 months. Because he cannot stop talking about my boobies and it makes me sick. Just before the pandemic hit, we were out at a restaurant with some friends. He actually ordered a chicky Sammy. Like, said that exact phrase. I've done that. Remember?
What was
Burger King?
Chicken tendies?
No,
you asked for?
No, we were at Burger King and we were at the drive-thru and I was getting chicken nuggets. And
you asked for nuggies?
No, I didn't.
What was it?
I said, get some nugs.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And the guy went, what? And I was like,
Nugs.
And then and then you caught on. You went, Megan, nuggets. It's like, oh, nuggets!
Like, man, sometimes you pick up words off the internet. Like, I can't stop saying beast from that pill, okay? You guys did this to me.
I just want some nugs.
You know what a beast from that pill? Nugs.
Oh. Chicky Sammy. Look, it's totally fine that he ordered the chicken sandwich. That's not the issue. Our friends noticed the baby talk because he insisted on continuing the joke and even started talking with his god-awful toddler Lil accent. After that, I just couldn't stomach the idea of going out with him to an adult place. I'd go out to the brewery with friends, but God forbid he join me and say, "Me want another beer." Or something.
Like, is it that bad you just can't turn around to him and just be like, look man, can you just shut the fuck up?
I know. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why he's doing this. I finally hit my limit when we were at the grocery store and everything seemed normal and fine until he gasped like a kid, ran to the ice cream section and jumped up and down yelling, "Ice cream! Ice cream! I want chocolate!"
Oh, that's painful. That's painful.
I was mortified. People were staring at him and me. He kept going and saying, "Can we get popsicles?" And I just said, "Either talk to me like an adult or I'm leaving." He started saying, "Ooh, you must be fun at parties, and lighten up, will you?" and shit like that. I just said fuck it and left the store, leaving him to walk home like a mile. It was fine because I couldn't even look at him. I do not blame you.
You remember what I used to do? So Megan used to have like a nurse outfit because you did like
Well, no, I don't care in the community. I don't just have a nurse outfit.
No, yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, oh yeah.
So I had a carer's uniform because I worked.
So yeah, but it looks like a nurse uniform.
And I used to.
So
sometimes I would pick him up.
Megan would pick me up because she would do like splits all the time, and we would go get something to eat for lunch or whatever. And anytime I'd get out of the car, I'd like drag my leg or something
and start to act.
Like,
and like I was like, "James, stop it!" And you were like dragging on to me, holding on to me.
It was kind of funny, not gonna lie. I think like this was a long time ago, guys. Okay, this was like when
2014.
Yeah, it was by 2014 or so. I thought it was funny, not gonna lie. Like
my 24 female boyfriend, 25 male, sleeps in a nest of clothes and towels and refuses to buy a bed.
I mean, like, I see nothing wrong with this. Like, I like, what's wrong with having a nest? Like, does he like patter about in a circle?
You make a nest in the bed. If James goes up to bed 10 minutes before me, I come in, he's in the middle of the bed, and you know what he's like? Have you ever seen like a cartoonish drawing of like a dinosaur nest with eggs? The pillows are his eggs and the blanket he's made as his nest and he's in the middle of it. But he always uses, James sleeps naked. My pillows to support his ball sack.
I mean, like, it's like you need ball support, just gonna, like, you know.
But my pillows?
Look, you'll be alright. You've done worse, my ball, so I don't know what you're talking about. Alright.
I've been dating my boyfriend for 3 years, and I only just finally visited his apartment this week.
How is that possible?
3 years?
3 years? You've been with someone for 3 years and you've never once been to
Been to
their
their
house?
place?
Never.
That's weird. That's a red flag.
There's something sketchy going on there.
I was amazed to see in his bedroom there was no bed. Instead, there's a huge pile of clothes and towels in the middle of the room. My boyfriend says it's his nest, and he sleeps in it. I couldn't believe this. He showed me how he does it, and he kind of curls up into a ball in the middle and piles some of the clothes and towels on top of him. That's serial killer shit.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember Jurg? Do you remember that guy that does like the political videos on YouTube? And he did like a heist tour?
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
And he sleeps in a nest and
Yes.
he was showing off like the cockroaches
Yes!
and his like janky ass water.
He told me he never had a guest in his nest before, but I was welcome to try, or I could sleep on the sofa. It turns out the reason he had not invited me to his apartment is because he was embarrassed about his nest. I thought it was very odd to have a nest, but I tried to sleep in it with him. I found it very uncomfortable and weird, and I also noticed it smelled. I went to sleep on the sofa. In the morning, my boyfriend confronted me and said, "Why do you hate my nest?" I said I thought it was weird, uncomfortable, and smelly. I asked, does he wash those clothes? He said he doesn't because he doesn't wear them. They are just nesting materials.
You know what? I kind of like this guy, not gonna lie.
I said he should still wash them. He said if we were going to take the next step and move in together, I would need to accept his nest. I said if we move in together, we're getting a bed. He said he would rather never go to sleep if he couldn't use his nest.
That's a mental illness shit like
Yeah.
there.
I said, fine, maybe we'll get a 2-bedroom. He took offence to this. I told him his nest was stupid as a mud crab, which I admit was childish. What it springs to my mind,
What?
if this is a thing, and like he's full on serious about it, like I'm not sleeping without my nest, I would almost put it down to this poor man, childhood neglect.
Yeah, I would arm.
He didn't have a bed,
Yeah, I would say that probably.
and he's
is-
just used to sleeping on the floor in a ball
Yeah.
with things over him.
Yeah, that honestly, yeah, that's probably the only answer.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, this is probably just child neglect. If I be completely straight up, that's. I know the thing is, he said like they haven't been over because he's embarrassed about it. If you're that embarrassed about it, get a bed. You know what I mean? Or does he have a phobia of beds and he needs it to be a nest?
Don't stop
What?
that nest.
But it's his nest, Megan. That's what he lives in.
But
I would.
he has an apartment,
Yeah,
so he has the money. Why doesn't he just get a bed?
it's a rest. I'm going to assume the rest of his apartment.
He has a sofa.
I imagine the rest of his apartment's like a hoarder's house. That's what
Well, she
I
never said that.
Yeah,
She would
so-
have said it.
Yeah, she would have said like if there was like rats infested or something.
But I've been dating my boyfriend for 3 years and only just finally visited his apartment. So
Also-
has he been at her apartment and
Yeah.
been sleeping in her bed so he can sleep in a bed?
Yeah, so he doesn't have an issue.
So
then.
obviously this wasn't it hasn't clicked on to her because
Why?
like they've been together 3 years. They've shared the same bed, so he slept in a bed with her.
Yeah.
And it wasn't an issue. I don't get it.
Like this to me just screams of like childhood neglect
Yeah.
and trauma. Honestly, I think it's kind of funny, but I think there's a definitely much sadder situation under the surface.
Under it, yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Normally we do this.
Also, check out the models.
Oh yeah, like,
Just in case, guys.
Helps us out a lot. Definitely helps us out a lot, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.